What's up, guys? So we're in the city right now. Check out, well, that's the bathroom. You guys probably don't want to see what just went down in there, but check this view out. Check this view out. Oh, almost knocked the phone over. We got the city right here. Boom. Here as well. Not too bad. I mean, this room is kind of small. You guys see it? But it's pretty dang good. I like it, and I'm loving again this view. So let's dive into the video, guys. Okay, guys. So before we even dive into the video, I want you to guess. Drop me a comment right now very quickly. What city do you think I'm in? Based on that intro that you saw, the view, the great view from the, well, it's not a balcony. I was going to say balcony. The great view from the window. What city am I in? Drop the comment down below, and let's just get into it. So, urgent message to investors for 2023 here. And if you guys didn't know, yeah, it is officially 2023 now. The 2022 year is over, and these years are flying like this. So in 2022, 2021, especially 2020, there were many lessons learned when it comes to the stock market. I learned a bunch. I'm sure you guys learned a bunch as well. We got a view of how crazy the financial system could get, the stock market, crazy bubbles that were formed with NFTs, crypto. We saw just some individual stocks go ballistic. I mean, pretty much all stocks went crazy in 2020, 2021, right? That crazy bubble. So we learned a lot from that perspective. We learned a lot about the Fed, kind of what the Fed does there, the backstop to the economy. If anything goes wrong, you always have the Fed to bail you out, right? We kind of learned that throughout the pandemic with the cruise lines, with the airlines. We just learned a lot of things. I mean, we could talk for hours about what we learned. I mean, well, at least I learned, right? I don't know about you guys. I'm sure a lot of you got these same lessons. And another thing that a lot of people learned the hard way, a lot of people just blindly followed, whether it's, super investors out there or YouTubers, some of the biggest YouTubers out there, which is why I always say, guys, when I'm talking about individual stocks or index funds or what I'm doing, it's just what I'm doing. I always say that, right? I'm not telling you guys what to buy. I'm not telling you to go out and buy this, that, or the third, right? But a lot of people, the reality is throughout 2020, 2021, 2022 even, right? Even now, people are still doing this. People are buying stocks, indexes, ETFs, whatever, based on super investors' opinions, which we'll talk about that in a second right now. YouTubers or just anybody, random people at your job or just your friends, your uncles, your family members, taking specific stock advice or just copying blindly is something that is not going to work long term. You have to understand what you're investing in. You have to pick a strategy and you have to stick to it over time. If we're looking over the long term, that is what works, right? Sticking to a strategy that's proven to work and just continue to do it, right? Long term. And going back to the super investors point, these include, you know what a super investor is, right? People that, I mean, it's not like Superman or a superhero or anything like that. Well, I guess they kind of are in a sense in their field, but these people, super investors, are like Warren Buffett, Charlie Munger, Ray Dalio, Monish Pabrai. These are people that obviously have a ton of success in investing in the business and that have amassed a massive amount of wealth, but that doesn't mean each stock they buy, you should go and blindly buy it. And that's what a lot of people did. People look at these super investors, right, and they buy whatever they buy. So let's say, for example, Ray Dalio this year decides to load up on gold. Maybe he goes all in on gold. And you guys know he's a believer in having, a well-rounded portfolio, having international, having metals. So let's say Ray Dalio goes and buys 30% of his portfolio in gold or puts a crazy amount in gold or silver. You're going to go do that? Are you going to go do that? That'd be stupid to go do that, right? Just because Ray Dalio's doing it. Now, if you really believe in gold, let's say you have been studying it or you want to hold it long term and this is where you want to put your money, by all means, go do that. But just because somebody else is going to buy, a stock or something doesn't mean that you have to go and blindly do it, right? And this happened with Chinese stocks. A lot of these super investors were buying Chinese stocks, and I actually bought Alibaba not because of Charlie Munger or Monish Pabrai at the time, but I bought it because I thought it was a cheap value. Then it went down way more, and that's another lesson. Just because you think something is cheap when you're buying it doesn't mean it can't become cheaper. It could always become cheaper. When I started buying Alibaba, it went down like 50% more on top of that, which, you know, it's crazy. I'm still holding it, and it's recovered a ton. I think Alibaba hit $58. Now it's back over 110. So I think it's at 120 now almost. So yeah, you know, it's a lot of people bought Alibaba because of these super investors. A lot of people went and bought. I mean, you guys can name stock after stock after stock that people go and blindly buy because of these super investors. And the thing is that you don't know why they're buying the stock. You don't know when they want to sell the stock, when they want to buy more. You don't know if it's just a 6-month hold or a 15-year hold. You don't even know. It's not like, you know, Warren Buffett's your uncle and you're like, hey, Warren, or hey, Charlie, why'd you buy that? Why'd you buy that, Charlie? Oh, you bought it for that reason and you're going to sell it here. You're going to do that. Okay, I got it. And you're going to let me know whenever you sell, right? Oh, okay, gotcha. But that's the reality, guys. The reality is they're not going to let you know when they sell. They're not going to let you know. So if you blindly buy based on a super investor, when are you going to sell? You know, how do you know when to get out, right? It just doesn't make sense. So that's a big, big lesson from the past couple of years. And again, we could talk on and on and on. And another lesson, Warren Buffett. You guys remember Warren Buffett? Everybody was talking crap on him during the pandemic, even before the pandemic. I mean, Warren Buffett, why do you have so much cash on Berkshire's balance sheet? Why is there so much money on the balance sheet? Aren't you going to be buying stocks? Why aren't you participating? Well, it's almost like he's been around the block a couple times, right? The guy's 90 plus years old. You'd think he'd know a thing or two. I mean, everybody was talking crap on him. A lot of these younger generation investors. I mean, wasn't Dave Portnoy, even though I love Dave Portnoy, the guy's great, wasn't he, talking about, how Warren Buffett was, he was done, he was old school, and Dave Portnoy is not even an investor, but he was, day trading during the early days of the pandemic, and he was making a ton of money, outpacing or outperforming Warren Buffett. Everybody was clowning Buffett at that point. But now who's laughing? Look at that. Buffett now, in the midst of this bear market, the inflation, where everybody's flooding the cash, or at least, they were a couple months ago. Now stocks have gone up a little bit more, but cash is still king, guys. Look at Buffett. I mean, he's sitting on tons of cash. I'm not sure how much cash Berkshire has now, but it's definitely still very high up there. And I'll double check it. Maybe I'll make another video on it. But everybody was clowning Buffett. Everybody was like, oh, that old guy, he lost his touch. But the reality of the matter is he's been through God knows how many cycles. I mean, geez, he's been investing since he was 11. The guy's over 90 now. I mean, think about that. 80 plus years. How many cycles have gone on? He knows what signs to look at. He knows when the writing is on the wall. He's been through it. That's what experience, that's what it's all about. If you've been through things multiple times, many times, like Buffett has, like a lot of these big guys have, these older people that have been through a bunch, you can see the writing on the wall. You can see things before they happen. Or maybe you can't predict the future, but if you see certain things in the financial markets, you're like, ooh, this is a little bit weird. Oh, this is a little off. It's going to maybe be, kind of a precursor. Is that even the word? It's gonna tell you kind of potentially what could be coming in the future down the line. So yeah, I mean, we could talk all day about this, guys. And my arm's getting a little numb here holding this camera up. So I think it might be a good time to wrap up the video. If you enjoyed the video, all I ask is for you to hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and feel free to subscribe as always. And with that being said, I'm going to go walk around this city that I'm in, which again, I'd love to know what city you think I'm in based on the intro. Let me know in the comments, and I'll let you know if anybody comments the correct city. So with that being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.